In our first video, we looked at what makes a good starting position on the blocks and the correct trajectory that you want to launch yourself forward in order to put yourself in the best possible angle as you enter the water. In this video, we're going to look at what the swimmers do under the water to get themselves up before they start using their arms and swim above the water. More specifically, we're going to break down the technique and the strategy that is employed by the bronze medalist of this event, Bruno Fratus, and the gold medalist of this event, Caeleb Dressel. So difference number one is when do the swimmers start and initiate their first dolphin kick. Swimmer number one holds his tight streamline as his legs enter the water. This allows the forward momentum that he's generated from the dive to carry over as he's holding a tight, rigid, streamlined position and not creating any additional resistance. Whereas for swimmer number two, as he dives into the water, as his legs submerges into the water, he starts initiating his first butterfly kick in an attempt to boost himself forward. As you can see, the bubbles around swimmer number two are much more violent and big and large compared to swimmer number one. And only as swimmer number two initiates the second dolphin kick, where swimmer number one also starts his first kick. Difference number two, the number of total underwater kicks executed and the time spent under the water before taking their first stroke. So if you remember, Caeleb Dressel, our first swimmer, he does 6 underwater kicks, whereas Bruno, our swimmer number 2, does 4 underwater dolphin kicks. Now pay attention to who reaches the top first and starts taking their arm strokes first. Now from this frame, it is very apparent that Bruno, swimmer number 2, has started swimming already, while our first swimmer is still taking his underwater kicks. And it is only after a couple of strokes of our second swimmer that Caeleb starts his first stroke. Difference number 3 is the technique that is employed as they are breaking out of the water. Well, let's look at swimmer number 2 first. Swimmer number 2, as his arms separate, he switches to his freestyle kick immediately. And as he pulls his first stroke while breaking out the surface of the water, you can notice that his feet are separated and he's starting to do his flutter kicks already. Whereas in swimmer number 1, he's still doing his dolphin kick as he initiates the first pull, and he pairs the first arm stroke of his race with one and final butterfly kick before switching to the freestyle kick. The freestyle kick only comes in as he's doing his second stroke of the race. That is difference number 3. The butterfly kick generates more power per kick compared to the freestyle kick. So the whole purpose of doing the underwater kicks and breaking out the surface of the water is to preserve as much energy that you can, that you've generated from the dive. So using the butterfly kick, it's more powerful simply because it uses 2 feet instead of a freestyle kick where you use 1 foot to kick each time. And it's done by our gold medalist here, swimmer number 1. He pairs his final butterfly kick with the first propulsive force that he uses with the arm stroke. And I think doing this gives him a surge forward and gives a really seamless transition from the underwater phase of the swim to the top of the water swim.